Beem. Again, we're here at the Jroot Radio on the show of Lecha Dodi. We're going to speak again on the parasha, and the other half of the show we'll take your questions in halacha. Anybody's welcome to call. Everybody's welcome to call our studio number at 718-683-5858. But that's in the other half hour at 12:30. Right now, we'll speak about the parasha. Very interesting that we found that in the last few parashiot, we see there's a way how to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But there's two different ways how to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Everybody feels they want to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Everybody feels that feeling. It's called, in a way, it's not something that one needs to work for, because he has it within him. It's called frumkeit. That's the way the Alei Shur writes. Frumkeit means a certain instinct to connect with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That frumkeit is not necessarily something positive. Rather, it's an instinct that comes with a person when he's born and he grows up with it. Each and every person has that, some more and some less. And also different religions have such an instinct. They all practice it in different ways. Some people feel that in order to practice their frumkeit, the feeling of connection with the Almighty, with the Master of the world, they should do that by blowing themselves up, by killing people. Some other people would feel that they want to do that by not talking at all, never talking, being a nazir, or some do that by the fact that they're going to take nezirut, stay away from other things that the world has to offer, like all kind of good food, or those that would do it by not getting married. There's different ways how people practice their instinct of connecting with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We also have that feeling within us, but we need to know how to practice it correctly, and that it's only an instinct, and that is only a tool that we need to use in order to connect correctly with HaKadosh Baruch Hu and to work on that. The Alei Shur writes very harshly about this frumkeit. He says that this frumkeit is actually an obstacle in the Avodat Hashem, in the work towards leading to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This frumkeit is an instinct to relate to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This instinct is not only in human, rather it's also in animals. For instance, David HaMelech in Tehillim says, "Akfirim shoagim lateref uvakesh me'lochlam." The lions roar to get their prey, and they ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they ask Hashem for their food. It says in another pasuk, "Noten levema lachma livnei orev asher yikra'u." HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives an animal her food to the ravens that they call him. So you see that animals also call HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and the Alei Shur says this psukim you can take literally. You don't need to say that it's a parable. It's really so. The animal, the birds, the ravens, they do call to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They also have such an instinct. But animals don't work on such a thing. They have it automatically, and they never improve it. Humans have an obligation to work on it and to improve it. What does that mean? In order to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu in a real correct way, you have to do it the way the Torah teaches us. The Torah leads us. And that's where we're going to speak today about. There's two ways of connecting to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we see in the last few parashot. In Parashat Yitro, Parashat Mishpatim, and in our parasha, Parashat Truma. There is a way to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu by bringing him down to us. He could come down to us. He could bring the Shekhinah down to this world. But there's another way how to do it, and that is to go up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. One way is to bring him down. Another way is to go up to the mountain that leads to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Where do we see that? We see that when Am Yisrael were coming to Har Sinai, it says over there in the pasuk, "Vayis'u milfidim, vayavo midbar Sinai, vayachanu b'midbar, vayichan sham Yisrael neged ahar." HaKadosh Baruch Hu was ready, getting ready to accept Am Yisrael. How was that done? Vayichan sham Yisrael neged ahar. Am Yisrael came in front of the mountain. But what does it mean? Vayichan. They settled over there. It says in a plural, not in a plural, in a singular. Vayichan. Why is it singular? Says Rashi, Ke'ish echad belev echad. Rashi says They were like one man. The whole nation of Am Yisrael were beating in one heart as one man. Aval Sh'ar Kol HaChanuyot wasn't like that. But over here, when they're getting ready for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to come down, it was necessary and an obligation that there should be Ke'ish Echad Belev Echad. When Hashem is going to come down to the mountain, it has to be in such a way that Am Yisrael are connected. We found that also, for instance, when you make a minyan. When you have a minyan of 10 people, they're connecting together to pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What does it say in Chazal? Kol be'asara shchina sharya. Whenever you have 10 people coming together, bounding together, making one unit in order to pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, shchina sharya. Right away, the shchina comes down. This is a way how to bring the shchina down here. Also, in our parasha, Parashat Teruma, we see that Hashem says to the people, here, go ahead, bring me all the things that's needed in order to build the Mishkan. קחו לי תרומה, מכל איש אשר יתבנו ליבו, תיקחו את תרומתי, and this is what you need to bring. And there's a whole list of different things that needs to be brought in order to bring the Mishkan. What's the purpose of building the Mishkan? That is because HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to go down and dwell within us. ועשו לי מקדש ושכנתי בתוכם. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to come down here to us. How is that going to be done? By connecting, by doing things together, by bringing together. זאת התרומה אשר תיקחו מאיתם. Bring all of these things together. זהב וכסף ונחושת, חלד וארגמנט. Everybody have to work together towards that. It's so interesting that when they start building, it uses psukim first of all in a plural, and it goes right away, starts talking in a singular. Why is that? If you take a look at the psukim, it says, ועשו עצי ארון עצי שיטים. You should do plural. And then right away the pasuk changes and starts speaking on a singular. וציפית אותו, ויצקת לו, ועשית בדי עצי שיטים. What's going on over here? Why did it start? Build the Mishkan, build Aron עצי שיטים, build the Aron as plural, and right away, בלשון יחיד, ציפית אותו, יצקת לו, עשית בדי עצי שיטים. The one that speaks about this is the Ramban. The Ramban asks, and he says that this comes to hint, ירמוז שיהיו כל ישראל משתתפים בעשיית הארון. All כלל ישראל should be joining in order to build this Aron. Very interesting. So therefore, why does it need to say in a singular? That's because if you want to bring HaKadosh Baruch Hu down here, down to us, that has to be in a singular. ויחן שם כנגד ההר בלב אחד, כאיש אחד בלב אחד. It has to be, ירמוז שכל ישראל משתתפים בעשיית הארון. It has to be, וציפית אותו. All עם ישראל together, as one unit. ויצקת לו, עשית בתי עצי שיטים. That's the only way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu would come down over here. And right now, כאיש אחד בלב אחד. But the Aseret HaDibrot were given in such a way also. All the Aseret HaDibrot were given in Lashon Yachid. Every single dibra in there, לא תרצח, לא תנאף, לא תגנוב, לא תישא את שם השם אלוקיך לשווא. Everything is in Lashon Yachid. As soon as it's finished, when Moshe Rabbeinu is talking to the nation, he starts speaking in Lashon Rabim. And he starts saying, ויקשמכם את הכל, ותאמרו, and everything else also, Moshe Rabbeinu speaks to the people, בלשון רבים. We see over here that at the time of the Aseret HaDibrot, it had to be such a status that everybody were together. Once Aseret HaDibrot were given, and people were, and there was permission already to go up to the mountain, that's already a totally different story. Now everybody doesn't have to be united. It's a nice thing to be united. You could also bring back HaKadosh Baruch Hu down. But for Ma'amad Har Sinai, there gotta be a unity in order to bring HaKadosh Baruch Hu down to this world. But sometimes people are not united. And then what do you do at such an instance? What do you do now when people are actually not united? When you see that each one has his own agenda, his own opinion, everybody is pushing towards a different mission. What do you do now? How do you actually connect with HaKadosh Baruch Hu in such an instant when you can't actually bring everybody together? That is what the pasuk comes to say in Parashat Yitro. Over here it says that as soon as Har Sinai is over, במשוך היובל, המה יעלו בהר. As soon as the shofar blows, as soon as bimshoch hayovel, Rashi says that they blow up the shofar, the yovel is referring to the shofar. As soon as they blow up the shofar, which means the Ma'amad Har Sinai is over, siman hu lesiluk hashchina. Right now you know that the Shechina Kedosha that was dwelling within us at that time of Ma'amad Har Sinai got away, it went away. Siluk hashchina, kevan sheistalek הם רשאים לעלות. Right now, when the Shechina is not here anymore, there's another way how to do it. How do you connect with the Kadosh Baruch Hu? Now you can go up. Up to now, if people are united, you can bring a Kadosh Baruch Hu down here. But if you can't connect, for any reason that it might be, it's very hard to connect throughout regular circumstances. Now there's another way how to connect with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And how is that? You can actually go up to him. Bimsho chayovel ema yalu bar. Right now, the way how to do it, as soon as the shofar blows and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not here anymore, it's Siluk HaShechina, you can go up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How do you go up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? That is the question we need to know. The two parashiot, Parashat Yitro, which is Ma'amad Har Sinai, and Parashat Truma, our parasha that we're reading today, teaches us how to bring HaKadosh Baruch Hu down here. And that is with unity. Kol be'asara shechina sharia. But how actually you do the other process of going up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? How do you do that second part? That is Parashat Mishpatim, right in the middle, sandwiched in the middle. And that is teaching us that in order to connect with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it has to be with practicing the laws of Parashat Mishpatim. And that is what David HaMelech says in Tehillim Kaf Daled. LeDavid mizmor, LaDonai haaretz umloav tevel veyoshveva. David HaMelech speaks about the wonderful Bria that HaKadosh Baruch Hu built and created. Ki hu al yamim yesada, v'al ne'arot yechonenea. But we want to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We want to practice that connection. Mi ya'aleh be'ar Hashem, u'mi yakum bimkom kodsho. Now we're going up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How do you actually go up to those in that ladder that goes up and reaches the highest way, the highest thing in the world? Mi ya'aleh be'ar Hashem, u'mi yakum bimkom kodsho? Neki chafayim uvar levav. A person that's clean, his hands are clean. He never stole, he never lied, he never cheated. Neki chafayim uvar levav, also his heart is clean. Var means clean, cleanness of the heart. Var levav, the heart is clean. Asher lo nasa lashav nafshi velo nishba lemirma. You do that in two ways. First way and utmost is Parashat Mishpatim. You treat your friend honestly. You do business honestly. You don't cheat in business. You don't do things that are wrong in relation to money matters. But not only in money matters, you have to treat your friend respectfully. You have to treat your friend correctly. But not only that, a person needs to know that he needs to keep the Torah and mitzvot in order to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So there's two ways how to do it. One way we're saying, you bring HaKadosh Baruch Hu down here. How is that done? It doesn't have to be done with keeping mitzvot necessarily, because we see that on Yom Kippur, we allow the Avaryanim to come and join us. When it's a unity, HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't look at the individual. He doesn't look at the person individually to see what he deserves. No. You're there as a whole. You're there as a minyan. You're there as 10 people. You're praying together. The prayer goes up. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't look at each and every person. He deserves it or not. The prayer goes as a unit up. And that's because HaKadosh Baruch Hu came down here. And once HaKadosh Baruch Hu is down here, it's a totally different story. That's why, for instance, the highest time is that time that we're talking about. That's Yom Kippurim, that we allow the Avaryanim. And we say that right before starting Yom Kippur, we're saying that we give permission to those that are sinners to join us, although during the years, though there are sinners that we don't let them join us to the minyan. But right now, everybody's welcome. Why is that? Because in Yom Kippur, Kadosh Baruch Hu comes down. He comes down here. And therefore, everybody has to be united. As it says in the Midrash, that the Malachim come in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and tell him, look at our nation. Your nation are like angels. They're just like angels have no shoes. They're not wearing shoes. Just like angels has 1 foot, Am Yisrael are standing as well like that. They don't eat. Angels don't eat, Am Yisrael also don't drink and eat. And just like angels are united to praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so does Am Yisrael. Am Yisrael are united all together. How is that? Everybody's together. Everybody asks the other person for forgiveness. We all are united at that time. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes down here. That's the mashal that they always give before on Elul, that the king goes down to the field. Now HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not up in Shamayim, the Shekhinah goes down here. And this is one way that we bring HaKadosh Baruch Hu here. And that's the best way. That's the best way that the Torah says that once everybody's united, no one's allowed to go in the mountain. Whoever attempts to go to the mountains, yaro yares, akol yisakel, don't go up there. But once, bimshoch hayovel, as soon as the Siluk HaShekhinah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu leaves this world, now we have to go up to him. Mi ale be'ar Hashem. How do you do that? We said there's two ways. One is, you have to do it by neki kapayim uvar levav. But also another way is keeping the Torah and the mitzvot. Interesting, so interesting, to connect to that last week story that mamash happened a week ago, to see that how much you see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes care of us when we keep the Torah. Once you keep the Torah, you keep the mitzvot, it's not like you're sacrificing anything. It looks to us sometimes that you're sacrificing something, but you see that that connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu actually is for our good, is absolutely for our good. Last week, a story that happened to us. We went as a shul, we went away for Shabbat. We took few families, we went to a Shabbaton to a hotel in New Jersey. Very nice. We got together, unit of people in the shul, in my shul. We got together, we went away, we catered that event, and we had a beautiful Shabbaton. Interesting that the water urn, the hot water urn, that was huge. You know that those very, very big water urn, I think they hold 250 gallons, like very, very big water urn. For some reason, when it was turned on, the temperature wasn't the lowest, which means it never got hot, So somebody came and asked me, what are we supposed to do? It was already Shabbat, and people were eating, and now they want to drink something hot, and the water is cold. So they asked me, what are we supposed to do? Can we tell a goy to turn the temperature higher? And I said, no. Telling a goy such a thing is a isur, because this is the cooking water. You're not allowed to ask a goy to do for you a melacha deoraita. Okay? So we got hot water from other places, from the hotel themselves. They had a hot water urn. They brought us hot water over there. Fine. But that big urn stayed cold. Sure enough, after half an hour, nobody noticed, but a little girl, went under that table of the water urn that was covered with a tablecloth completely. Nobody saw what's going on under, and she was under, and she was starting to shake the table back and forth, and everybody's busy schmoozing with each other. Nobody noticed. And sure enough, the whole table fell down, and the urn fell down and splashed all over. And there were kids there, and the little girl was there, and that could have been such a catastrophe. And this was prevented min shamayim, that the water should stay cold on that Shabbat. Just for following the halacha, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made sure that nobody would be harmed. She didn't even cry, nothing happened, just a little bit wet, nothing happened. But the big disaster that could have happened, you see over here very clear, Yad Hashem, when you are keeping the Torah, the mitzvot, you're coming up to the ladder that leads to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you are protected. These laws that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us in the Torah are for our good. Another story, very interesting story, is what's written in this week, Ami's Magazine. Ami's Magazine wrote over here a fascinating story this week about a person about a year ago, just a year ago, but this story came out much after, about a person named Pickering, George Pickering. He had a massive stroke on a certain day. They took him to the hospital, and right away they decided over there that he's brain dead. He's brain dead, and therefore they recommending that they should pull the plug on him. There's no reason to keep him alive anymore, and let's take away the life support. Ami Magazine writes in details the story this week, and the story goes like this, that the mother, which was separated from the father, gave permission to the hospital to start pulling out the plug and the life support. When the time has come, the father wouldn't handle it. He couldn't take that. He said that his son must live. It's impossible that he's then brain dead. And when the time had come that they were supposed already to take away the plug, to start taking away the life support, this person, this Pickering, the father, came into the hospital. He was a little bit drunk, and he came into the hospital with a gun and made a hold up over there, and the standoff. And they called up a SWAT team, and the story goes that they were handling with him, and he told them, "Give me a few hours. Give me a few hours." Couple of hours afterwards, amazingly, the son starts waking up slowly. He starts holding the hands of the father and twisting it and looking into his eyes, showing clear signs that he's not brain dead. And although the father had to go to jail for such an act, he was there for 11 months in jail. This story will happen in Texas last year. This amazing story shows that sometimes you see that the diagnosis could be that somebody is brain dead, but nevertheless, he's not so. How does the Torah look at those things? The Torah also, I was fortunate enough that Mr. Frankfurter, Rabbi Frankfurter from the Ami Magazine, allowed me to write over here a summary of the Torah view on brain death, and we see how the Torah looks at things, how she views, how Chazal looked at things, and how the later poskim, Rav Eliashiv, Rav Shlomo Zalman, Rav Moshe Feinstein, how they look at such a thing. Is a brain death consider somebody is dead, and you can right now take him away from the life support? Can you give away some of his body parts? How does the Torah look at this? Baruch Hashem, Rabbi Frankfurter published this beautiful story together with the halachot that I wrote on this. Anybody that wants this week magazine, Ami magazine, is very recommended. Be'ezrat Hashem, right after the music, we'll take Be'ezrat Hashem your calls at the studio at 718-683-5858, 718-683-5858, and the text number is 347-927-8388.